everyone, Jinxie here, and today we are going to go over the deck profile of the deck that I used for Enchanter Tim and my's collaboration, where I had to build a deck out of a single booster box of Dawn of Majesty. This is the deck that I used to play against him, and I have deemed this deck Sushi Magic, and you will see why. It is definitely fueled by magic in sushi. So let's get started. The first card that I had is the Magic Key Mech Mortar Guysssss Glasser. I am going to be 100% honest with you guys. I have not used a ritual monster in a very long time. So I had to Google where ritual monsters went, if they went in the extra deck or the main deck. And I know that is cringe as a Yu-Gi-Oh player, but I, honest to goodness, could not remember to save my life. But it goes in the main deck, so that is why this card is being placed first up there. The next cards I used were the Clavikeys, the Magic-y Sky Blaster, because he is basically the base of the Magic Keys, which I used a good bit in my extra deck. Next, I had the Doombearer Psycho Pompos, which I used as a tuner to try to get out my synchros, because this was a very synchro heavy deck, because that is what I pulled a lot of in this set. Same thing with Baby Muddragon, because he can be a tuner or a non-tuner, so that was very essential to getting out synchros. I used 3 Gusto Vadir, which again is another tuner, so I thought, hey, I can't have too many tuners. So next is my Gunkin Sushi Shari, which is one of the bases of the sushi aspect of my Sushi Magic. Followed by my Gunkin Suship Ikuta, which is the effect monster of that combo. All you need are these 2 bad boys, and you can get out your Dreadnought, which was basically the win-all of this duel, and I will get to that in a little bit. So I had 3 Slower Swallow, which I will be completely honest, I probably should not have put those in here. When I originally made the deck, I read the effect, which allowed you to draw 2 cards instead of 1 in your normal draw phase if you tribute this card. However, I never got the chance to tribute this card, so that effect was just dead to me, and Slower Swallow was just fodder. Moving on to my magic cards, I have the Gunkan Suship Yard Seaside Supper Spot, which was a very good card to have if you're running the sushi ships. It allowed you to special summon Gunkin Suship Shari from your hand, and then special summon an Exi monster from your extra deck, which was a Gunkan monster. It also allowed you once per turn, if you normal or special summon a Gunkan monster, even during the damage step, you can place a Gunkan card from your deck on top of your deck. So next time you knew you were going to draw it. So that's a pretty good bonus. Next card was the Synchro Overtake, which I will be honest, I didn't get a chance to use this in my duel because I thought I had a chance to activate it, and for some reason EDO Pro would not let me activate it, so I don't know if I was using the card wrong or misinterpreted it, but I did not get to use it. But it is a good card if you're using synchros, so definitely do not count it out. I pulled 1 of Magic Key World. It allowed you to add a Magic Key monster from your deck to your hand, which was amazing to get out my Clavikeys, the Magic Key Sky Blaster. Unfortunately, I only pulled 1 of these, but it did come up a bunch in my duel, so that was actually pretty cool. I had 3 of the Magic Key Duos, which are pretty useful. They basically act as a fusion, polymerization for a fusioning summoning of a Magic Key Fusion monster, which I did use in the duel, so it was pretty useful. It also allows you to ritual summon a Magic Key ritual monster from your hand in defense position by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed its level. Which, honestly, I should have used that more in the duel, but I only pulled my ritual monster once. So by that time, I don't know, I just forgot, I guess. So my trap cards, of course, I have 3 of Gunkin Sushi Daily Special, or Sushi Daily Special, you can reveal a Gunkan Sushi Shari in your hand if you want, but I don't know why you would, because you can just reveal 3 Gunkan monsters from your deck, and your opponent has to choose one of them for you to add to your hand. This really did help when you were getting your Dreadnought out. I put 3 monster assortments because when you reveal a normal monster in your deck and one effect monster in your deck with the same type, attribute, and level, then your opponent randomly chooses one for you to add to your hand. This allows you to get either of your Gunkan Sushi Ikuras or Sharis because they literally are the same. One's just an effect and one is a normal. So that actually helped me get that out a lot. I then had 3 different Dimension Derbies, which is actually a great card if you're running any kind of Fusion, Synchro, Xe, or Link monster with any normal monsters. Because if you summoned a face-up monster that was ritual summoned using a normal monster, or was Fusion, Synchroed, Xe'd, or Link summoned using a normal monster as material, you can target 1 card on the field and banish it. So if you get out your Dreadnought, which was, like I said, again, the biggest card for us in this match, if you had it on the field, you could activate this trap and banish a card from the field, and that actually helped out an awful lot. The next one is the Amaze Attraction Viking Vortex, and it's actually a pretty good card even if you do not have another Amazement card on the field, because you are still able to attach it to your opponent's monster, and when your opponent's monster is equipped with this card, it activates its effect. It is then returned to the owner's hand. So if they put out an effect monster and use the effect, it goes right back to their hand, which is pretty useful to get cards off the field when that is all we have to work with. So this is the main deck that I used, and actually to be just in Dawn of Majesty, it worked pretty well, and it honestly played a lot like original Yu-Gi-Oh, which was really nostalgic for me, and I absolutely loved it. So now we will move on to that extra deck, and you will finally get to hear about that Sushi Dreadnought that I've been talking so much about. Okay, now we are going to go over the extra deck that I've been harping about for this Sushi Magic. So first we're going to start with the fusion monsters. I pulled the Magic Key Dragon Androbime, which I never actually got to get out, which was tragic. However, he is pretty tough to get out without any help, so that is okay. The only way to get him out would be if I would have been able to tribute my Magic Key Beast and Syllabolus, which I did happen to get out once, but it was only for a brief moment before the duel ended that I got him out. So unfortunately, they didn't help me too much in the duel, but I really do like those cards. The winner of this duel was the Gunkan Sushi Ikuda class Dreadnought. So this was a powerhouse. Let me talk to you about this card a little bit. This was a very common card to pull out of the box. And it only requires 2 level 4 monsters, which your Gunkan Shari and Ikudas are. So all you have to do is pull those out, and then you can Xe summon this. And listen to what it does. If this card is Xe summoned, you can apply these effects in sequence based on the materials used. You can only use the effect of Gunkan Sushi Ikuda class Dreadnought once per turn. You can draw a card if it has Shari, and if it has Ikuda, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase, which means this card can attack twice as long as Ikuda was used as one of its materials, which is absolutely crazy. Also, once per turn, when your Gunkan monster special summoned from the extra deck inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. So not only can this card just destroy people by attacking twice, it can also literally destroy cards if it inflicts damage. So this was the card to beat in that duel. Definitely, if you got that out first, you probably were gonna win. I also used the Dragonlark Perrin. Unfortunately, use is a bad word, because I don't even think I was able to get this card out, because it does require 2 level 6 monsters, which I wasn't able to produce. One thing I have read about this card though is that a lot of people are thinking about adding it to their virtual world decks because it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, while a monster other than it is face up on the field that was special summoned from the graveyard, which I know virtual world does a lot on. I am still working on that deck profile. I am sorry it's taking so long. Things have just come up that have delayed me a little bit. My first synchro was my Stellar Wind Wolf Riot, which unfortunately, as cool looking as he was very difficult to get out. He requires a tuner plus 1+ non-tuner monsters, and that's a lot of levels. I think he's what, 9, if I'm correct? So that was a lot of cards that I was not able to produce to get him out, but he still looked really pretty in my deck, so that's okay. Next was the Gyre Dragon Shell, which I got it a few times, but unfortunately against the Yugioh class Dreadnought, it just failed in comparison. And then we have the Dispatch Parazi, which I did not get out, but my opponent did. And it was pretty cool of a card. When another monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can change the attack target to this card and perform damage calculation. When this card is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster, and if you do, you gain life points equal to half that monster's original attack. So not an amazing card, but definitely useful in the sense that you can gain some life points back and be able to save one of your more important monsters from being taken out. Well, that was my extra deck. Again, like I said, I didn't get to use all of them like I wanted to, but this is the 15 that I had and that I liked enough to put in my extra deck. So I hope you enjoyed that. Definitely check out the Magic Keys and the Sushi ships. They are actually really based. I really enjoyed the way they played. So definitely, if you ever want to do anything like this with me, like where we buy a booster box and only make a deck out of it, I would absolutely love to do that with anyone. Just message me on Twitter, reach out to me, and we can definitely set up a collaboration. Well, thank you so much for looking at this deck profile, and I will see you guys next time. Be sure to watch the unboxing of my Dawn of Majesty box and my battles with Enchanter Tim in my other video. I will attach that video to the end of this. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next time. Jinxie out.